What up, y'all? Wanted to get at you today. I wanted to talk about the Hoover, and after you've recovered and then you've managed to get hoovered again, what will take place and how will this look? So the Hoover will happen, generally speaking, when you've recovered your energy, your life force energy is all back, to a decent level. You have got, a fresh new energetic step to you, and you're kind of starting to get on with your life now. You've kind of got to a recovery phase where, the narcissist is not in your mind. You're not ruminating on them anymore. You're just kind of like, into doing new things. You're getting back to life as usual, how it was before. And you can smile and laugh and actually be happy now again. And so you've gotten over the devastation of the narcissist, but the narcissist's been keeping check on you. They've been keeping up on you, and they start to see that this is occurring. So, like I always say, they always, regulate themselves based on their supply, their past supply, and or their current supply, and their flying monkeys. Usually, generally doesn't, as far as they don't regulate themselves based on usually the people that they don't deal with, that they see, but it's generally speaking the ones that they deal with or interact with. So if you start to be recovering and getting into a new mode in your life where you don't need the narcissist anymore, and they start to feel this, and when they come to hover around you, kind of checking on you, maybe pass by you, if or through social media and friends and acquaintances that have spoke with you and spoke with them, and they start, the narcissist is real keen on this, so they'll start to know, like when you early on in the discard phase or disengagement phase with the narcissist, you'll probably be like talking about them a lot, with their flying monkeys, and generally speaking, you wake up after a discard. So before all this, you didn't know anything about narcissism, so you didn't know anything about flying monkeys, but you did know they had friends. But generally speaking, there's going to be acquaintances also that you didn't really weren't too in tune to, that actually keep up with the narcissist as well, and now you're getting keen to all this. This is like the extended kind of flying monkeys, that they kind of go, they spread out a little further than you realized before you understood anything about narcissism. So you start kind of keeping your mouth shut, and you're getting over them, so generally speaking. But we're talking about somebody who's unaware or new to this. What's going to happen is they start to see that, and you're getting to where you're doing better than them. At least they feel this in their heart or whatever, in their mind, because we don't kind of like compete with people, but they do. And if somebody in their life that has intertwined with them, has been supply for them, has been a love partner, or somebody like one of their flying monkeys is starting to do better than them, they have got to come back, and they got to knock them back down. But at the same time, it could be like real convenient for them as well, because they're energy vampires. So being an energy vampire, they are probably to a point as well, at some point they're going to be to a discard or disengagement relationship currently, so they don't stay with their partners very long, depending on what level of narcissist you're dealing with, the more, some are very, very destructive, and part of that is because they have many, many sources of supply that they need to attend to, and they can only attend to them because with that short periods of time, so that they may just stay with an individual for 3 or 4 months and then destroy them and move on to the next one because they have maybe 4 sources of supply that they want to see this year. I mean, that could be their rotation. But generally what happens is you know, they will hoover you like they did, or come talk to you. They'll usually tell you, you know, you're the one that did it for them. There's nobody else. You're the only one that understands them. And, you know, they're very much attracted to you and they see themselves with you. So they'll say all that. They're in love with you, love you more, you know, all that stuff. And they've been thinking about you all the time, which is not true. Whenever they're not with you, they're not thinking about you. And, you know, it sounds really good because a lot of times when they come to hoover, there's different cases or situations. I mean, in some cases when they're extremely desperate, they really believe that they'll change, you know, because they lie to themselves if they have to, you know, in fight or flight and in survival mode and beast mode or reptilian mode or whatever they want to call it. They are, you know, acting out of survival. And when you get into survival mode, you know, when it comes to the narcissist, they will tell themselves anything if it's going to get them supply so that they can continue on with life. See, supply, people in their life supply is like their life force. So to them, it's not like us, whether we're with somebody or not, we can handle life, you know, or we can continue on, we can breathe, you know, we can function, that the narcissist cannot. So if it gets to the point to where they're desperate and they're out of supply sources and they're coming to hoover because it's been a while since you have dealt with them and you've recovered, they will tell you whatever it takes, and it will be believable. And I've talked about this in a podcast before, and like when you and that's the bad combination, is because when this is their best acting, because it's not really acting, it's more or less they believe it. And when you take them back, it doesn't take but a short time for them to get you right back in that position that they had you in, which was, you know, the love bomb phase is going to be shorter. The golden period is going to be a lot shorter because they already know you. It's not like you're brand new and this is all brand new excitement. This is, you know, you're looked at as a recycle, you know, kind of individual. So it's not going to be like, you know, they're not taking you, if you're a new toy, they're not taking you out of the package, you know what I mean? They're taking you off the shelf. And so it's a little bit different, you know, whenever you get a new toy and you know, when you were as a kid, you went to Toys R Us or something, man, you took it off the shelf, you bought, your mom paid for whatever, you know, and then you had a, you know, like an action figure, you'd open the package and be like, if it smelled brand new, you got to learn about it, you know, how to put the, you know, put the gun in the soldier's hand or something, you know, or like the Star Wars figures, I don't know, but you start like looking at them, you see all the features, you're like, this is cool, and then you could put them with the other toys, and you know, so it's more fun than when you have them on your shelf and you just dust them off and take them back off the shelf. So that's what the narcissist does, and that's why it's good when you like begin to love yourself and understand these things and build better boundaries, because they're, you know, using you, and you know, you may have some, you know, a depression or something to deal with, but you really want to deal with it and get over it, go through it, because if you can't And you're going to keep falling in these situations because you'll feel similar to the narcissist. Maybe if you're say codependent or something like that, where, you know, you'll feel like you need to have somebody, you know, all the time. So you really want to get to where you can be an independent individual, to where you don't need anybody for finances, you don't need anybody for housing, you don't need anybody for a car or a job, or, you know, and you don't need anybody if you were to be all alone. And yet you could function like that. It's a healthy thing. So that's why they talk about the dark night of the soul. When you kind of go, when you deal with a narcissist and you've been woke up to the narcissist, and if you've had a spiritual awakening like some of us have, you kind of get to a point to where you are seeing that this is, you know, not just, you know, a physical issue. This is a spiritual issue, and maybe not, regardless, that there's some things in your life that reflect back to your childhood, and that these cycles are coming up in your life because you have some healing that needs to take place. And so it's good and healthy for you to begin to find out what those things may be. And when it comes to you know, like independence and stuff, that's a big deal. It's a very big deal. So you want to kind of like figure that out if you can, and, you know, that way you can get on with your life, and, you know, you'll be a healed individual and not somebody who's caught up in these same cycles as the narcissist. But yeah, so when you go back with them, they will, you know, have fun getting to know you again and catching up with you again, and then you'll end up being put into the same funk that you were in with them last time. I mean, for the most part. I mean, the only thing is what's going to happen different is you're going to get to a point to where you are gonna probably discard them if you didn't before, you know, or you're not going to take as much, generally speaking. But if you do, I mean, then they may. So if you leave it up to the narcissist when you get hoovered, they're going to take you down a harder road this time, because they're going to feel like they didn't knock you down bad enough. So, because you recovered too quickly. So they generally speaking, like to knock you down worse. Find ways to get into your life a little deeper and get to know you a little deeper so that they can destroy you harder. Because when they leave you and they view you from afar, view you on social media down the road after the next discard, and every discard, they're actually regulating themselves based on how well that you are doing post discard. So they get fuel from that, and they always are dating somebody else when they're dating you. Like everybody always says, there's always at least 3 of you. And I mean, I feel like with the narcissist I was with, she was with, I mean, I personally believe that there was like 3 or 4, I mean, men that she was dealing with. So it just depends on their supply. And so it depends on the level of the narcissist, you know. I had a middle range narcissist. So middle range, there's a lot of middle range narcissists, but there's a lot of lesser narcissists as well. So that's generally speaking what you're going to find out there. Most of them are somewhat unaware to a degree, but they actually run off an instinct construct that is told to them. So but their intuition is not like our intuition. It's devious in nature. So but yeah, so that's what's going to happen. You're going to be more and more devalued and destroyed. and they're going to suck more and more fuel and energy off of you, your life force energy, and they're going to drain you harder. And so these are things that the more you deal with the narcissist, and depending on the destruction that they have the ability, to produce, based on the level of narcissist they are and the supply that they have, they bring a lot of negative things to your life. I mean, not only just do they destroy your energy level, but every ounce of every part of your life becomes destroyed. And so you don't want to keep letting them in. You want to recover. You want to do whatever it takes to go inside and find out what's wrong with you and how to recover those pieces of your life that have been, holes, gaps, and, reasons why you decided or you desired the narcissist. That's the thing. Generally speaking, they target us when we get to the primary source or the secondary source. They're generally speaking, they are the targeted individuals. When you get into tertiary and anything outside of that, he's, because they do have one night stands and stuff and all that stuff. Generally speaking, those are just pickups. But if you can give me a thumbs up and a like, subscription, I appreciate it. Love all you guys. Stand tall, soldier up. Peace out. Love y'all.